I think we'll get cracking. So come on to your bottoms or your backs. You can come on your backs and just let your head rest on the mat. Think about the shoulders softening back towards the mat, sacrum weighting heavily, length through the back of the neck. And this morning's class is called Equal and Opposite. And I want you to think about that in terms of forces in the body. So as we move or as we stretch, we're going to be doing some active stretching. We're going to be doing some isometric holds. So it's going to be a much slower class, but I'm hoping you'll certainly feel the muscles activate. So we're going to be looking to create active flexibility, build strength, endurance, improve range of motion, and help sort of improve stable postures. So lots to get going with. So think about the back of the neck being long, shoulder blades open, sacrum resting heavily, and we're just going to take a minute to breathe, to tune in, to check into how we're feeling this morning. So start to breathe into that low belly, feel the belly rise, taking up space. Feeling it soften on your exhale. Think about that dance between the inhale and the exhale. Think about the ribs expanding upwards, outwards, backwards towards the mat. That 360 expansion of the breath. And as you lie here, just take a moment to check in with your body this morning. Notice how it feels. Perhaps you've been up for hours, or perhaps you've only just rolled out of bed. Either is fine, but just observe. Maybe you're feeling a little sticky, a little creaky. Just try and use your breath to send it around the body to any of those areas that feel a little sticky and tight, and just use it to sort of dissipate and move that tightness and tension away. Try and let go of any expectation that you have for yourself on the mat this morning, for your practice, for your body, for your mind. Just use this as an open playing space. And then take a moment to think about your mind this morning and just notice what's going on for you there. Notice whether you've got lots of thoughts jumping in, thoughts, feelings, emotions, whether they're negative, unwanted. Just try and pop anything that's not going to serve you on an imaginary cloud, and just let that cloud float past your eyes, taking those unwanted thoughts with it. Giving yourself this time and space to be fully present, fully connected. Nice. Last breath here, then we're going to take our hands to the thighs. And we're going to peel into our low bridge. Think about tailbone tucking towards the back of the knees, lengthen that low back. You're going to actively try and pull your heels towards your bum, holding that for a couple of breaths. Again, keep the breath soft in and out through the nose. And you're going to push your feet away from you, and you're going to actively hold that so you feel everything in the body light up and engage. Again, keep the breath soft, keep everything else soft. Try not, really important not to hold the breath. And then you're going to take your feet a little further away from you, and you're going to come onto your heels. And you're going to try and pull your heels towards your body and hold. Again, notice if a little bit more spice has come into the body. Again, keep the breath soft. And then push those heels away energetically, lighting up the body, holding it on this contraction. Good. And then we're going to take those feet away a little further. Still on the heels, so the toes are lifted. Energetically pull your heels in towards your bum again. This might be feeling a little harder as the feet go away. Keep the breath soft. Again, don't hold the breath. Keep it flowing. And then push those heels away energetically. If you find it easier to keep your feet on the mat, do. But I like to be on my heels. Again, keep the breath, keep it flowing. And then last time, heels a little further away. You might feel like you're completely strung out. Again, actively pull those heels in towards your bum. Feel everything light up in the back line of the body. Keep the breathing, holding into the midline. We've got this tension through the body. And then release and try and push those heels or those feet away again. Feeling everything fire up. Glutes are engaged, everything's pulling into the midline. Breath is soft. Nice, and then you can walk your feet back to normal bridge. And we're just going to start to pulse. Little lift and lower. Squeeze those glutes. Take the right hand to the sky. Pull back on the right fingers with the left hand. Spread through the palm. Spread through the forearm. Make sure you don't lock out at the knee, elbow, so we're not sort of going into hyperextension in the elbow. Keep it connected. Keep the forearm connected to the shoulder. Good. Hopefully the glutes are already feeling nice and spicy. Swap hands. Pull the left fingers back. Spread through the palm, spread through the forearm. Good. Keep those glutes squeezing. Nice work, guys. Good. And then we're going to take our hands to fists, circle in those wrist joints. Circle both ways. Good. And then we're going to go to our favorite jazz hands, big stars, tight fists. And I really want you to think about the form of these stars, okay? It's very easy to sort of let your hands not really work, but really make sure you're pulsing into big stars and tightening those fists when you close. Good. Coordination going because the pulsing is still going. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Nice work, guys. Shake it off. And then roll upper, middle, lower back down to the mat. Nice. We're going to come on to our abdominals. So interlace your hands behind your head, elbows frame your face. Inhale here, exhale, lift. Low belly pulls down and back. Keep that pelvis in neutral, lift up into those elbows. Good. Inhale, come down. Exhale, we lift. Left knee over left hip. Lift up into the elbows more. Connect the ribs to the hip points. Good. Inhale, come down. Exhale, we lift. Holding that breath. Twist to the left, small movement. Hug into the midline. Pull that sacrum into the floor. Back to center. Inhale, come down. The left foot still stays lifted. Exhale, we lift again. Twist to the left. Slice the right arm to the outer edge of the left thigh. Hover that right foot. Good. Pull into this midline. Hold it here. Hold that tension. Good. Hand behind the head, right foot down. Inhale, come down. Last one this side. Exhale, lift. Twist to the left. Slice the right arm to the outer edge of the left thigh. Don't collapse onto this left shoulder. I don't want you leaning on it. Hover the right foot, and then we're going to pulse that right arm towards the left bottom edge of the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Hand behind the head. Inhale, come down. Let's swap sides. Exhale, lift. Hug into the midline. Good. Inhale, come down. Right knee over right hip. Inhale here. Exhale, lift. Holding that breath. Lift up into the elbows. Feel that connection. We're not lifting really high and pushing into our low belly. We're connecting into that low, deep abdominal area. Inhale, come down. Foot stays lifted. Good. Exhale, we lift again. Twist to the right. Stay off that right shoulder. Hug into the midline. It's a small movement. You're barely twisting. You're moving from the breastbone back to center. Inhale, come down. Good. The belly might want to pop out. Keep pulling it down and back. Exhale, lift. Twist to the right. Slice the left arm to the outer edge of the right thigh. Hover that left foot. Hug into the midline. Good. Hold it here. Pull that low belly down and back. Hand behind the head. Right foot stays lifted. Inhale, come down. Last one. Exhale, lift. Twist to the right. Don't collapse onto that right shoulder. Slice the left arm to the outer edge of the right thigh. Hover the left foot and then pulse in the direction of that right lower edge of the mat. Good. Woo! 3, 2, 1. release, knees to chest. Hopefully that's just spiced up your abdominals. Give yourself a little circle on that sacrum, and then we're going to come into a hollow hold. So I don't want your legs to be too low unless you've got mega abdominal strength. So find something that's good for you. Let's take our arms over our head, our legs sort of up to the sky, and then we're going to lift, take them away a little bit as we lift our arms off and head off the mat, and hug into that midline and hold. Really pull that low belly down and back. You might feel it shaking. Hold it here. Nice work, guys. Woo! 2, 1. Release, knees to chest, and then let's rock and roll. So do 3 rock and rolls on the mat. You either use your hands behind your knees or just let yourself mobilize without. Good. And then on the last one, I've done 4. You're going to come up and hold boat. Okay, so balance on those seat bones, hold those legs up, length through the spine, really lift up and out of the mat, use those deep abdominals, good, nice, hold it here, and then come on over onto all fours. Good, we're going to do a moving cat-cow, so you can round as you sit back towards your heels and then arch the back as you pull forwards into cow. Round, push the bum back, pull the chest through as you move forwards. Round, good. And then you can just take a little bit of creative flow, again sitting back, moving forwards, barrel rolling between the two, getting a bit of movement into the spine this morning. Lovely. Good. Whatever feels good for your body. And then we're going to come down into our dolphin. So interlace your hands, forearms on the mat, release the head, tuck the toes, lift the bum to the sky. Slurp into that low belly. Really find that lift out of the mat, out of the shoulders. Good. In and out through the nose. Breathe here. Left heel to bum. You can stay with your feet on the floor if this feels too much. But if you're with me, let's do 3 hip circles in the left hip, one way, and then 3 the other. Again, think about hugging that heel to the bum. Okay, we're keeping that muscle active by pulling that heel to the bum. Good. Swap sides. Right heel to bum. Hold it tight. Circle 3 times one way. Keep lifting up and out of the mat. Don't round through the shoulders. It's so easy to collapse forwards. And if this is too challenging, go down a level. Take the ego out of it. Good. Nice. And then bring the foot down, lower the knees. From here, take the hands off the mat. Left hand on top, and this is where, we've been doing some isometrics, but here we're going to think about opposite forces. So drive into the hands, sit back towards the left heel. So you've got a push and a pull. And you're trying to actively stretch through that side body. Again, big breaths. Don't forget to breathe. Use the breath, send it into the belly to get the stretch. Good. Hands over to the left, right hand on top. Sit back. Your bum is away from your heels. Sit back towards the right heel. Again, pull the belly in, drive into the hands, active stretch. Breathe, send the breath wide into those lower ribs. Good, over to the right again, left hand on top, sit back, breathe. Slurp the belly, pull into the midline, don't sink into the shoulders, everything is working hard here. Good. And then over to the left, right hand on top, good. Breathe. Keep that breath flowing. Breath is a super powerful tool to use in our bodies. Good, don't sink into the shoulders, slurp into the belly. Sit back, squeeze those glutes, good. And then come off that, knees into the fronts of the elbows. You're going to pull the chest through here. So again, you've got that pulling onto the knees as you set your shoulders towards your hips, okay? So you're trying to pull the chest through as your shoulders are trying to pull to your hips. Lengthen the spine. You should feel it in the upper back. Good. Release off it. Slurp the belly away from the chest, from the thighs, sorry. Pull the chest through. Again, opposite forces. The chest is trying to push through as you're trying to drag those elbows as hard as they'll go into your knees. Again, should feel lovely in the back. Breathe. Release. Last one, pull the chest through. Energetically, those oppositional forces. Good, this is how we work muscles super effectively. We don't just want to be slobbing out. Good. Nice, and then from here we're going to come and stand at the top of the mat. Grab your blocks if you've got them to help you. Think about soft knees, lengthen the spine. Feet hip distance apart, grow out through the top of the head. Again, opposition of forces here to create length, okay? You're driving through your feet as you're elongating to the sky through the crown of your head. Arms forwards and up, elevate, find a little bit of extra space as you drive down and reach up at the same time. Good. Hinge backwards, hands to the mat, left foot steps back, lower the left knee, back toe is tucked. Again, drive into the floor through that back toe, squeeze the left glute. Elevate to the sky through the crown of the head and then roll the shoulders. Always the juicy shoulder roll. I don't think I've ever done a class without it in. Good. Breathe as you go. But keep that opposition forces so you're expanding as you roll. Good. Hands to the mat, step back, plank. Again, if you need to lower your knees, lower your knees. Otherwise, full plank, squeeze the bum, slurp the belly, hold against gravity. We're in nice symmetric hold. Set those shoulders on the back body. Equal and opposite forces. Gravity is pushing you down, you're slurping up. Good, you're holding steady. Lower the knees, slowly lower towards the floor. Head to the shoulders, stay lifted. Good. Wide arm baby cobra. Again, you're pulling the chest through as you drag those hands, those fingertips, energetically towards your feet. Squeeze the bum, hug the belly. Breathe. Feel the squeezing of the shoulder blades towards the spine. It should feel yummy. Release, frame the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift up and back, down dog. Have a pedal of those calves. Push into the hands, push into the feet, equally. Good. Take the left leg long, hug it to the chest, step it through, pull it up as high as you can, keep your hands landed as you pull it through. Right toe is driving into the floor. Before you do anything, just feel what happens as you actively push those toes into the floor and squeeze that right bum cheek. You should feel an enormous level of activation just by doing that. And then feel like you elevate to the sky out the crown of the head. Let's roll those shoulders again, keeping those forces opposing each other. Good. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe in and out through the nose. Keep it flowing. Keep it fluid. Good. Hands to the top of the mat. Back foot steps in. Come up to stand. Nice. Now, this is where the fun begins. So we're going to start to squat. But we're going to hold the squat in 5 different positions as we go down. So the first one's not going to be very low, okay? So you're just going to squat a little bit and hold. Think about slurping the belly, hugging into that mid-line, squeezing the glutes, driving through the floor, lengthen the spine. Come a little lower, hold. Keep the breath smooth, in and out through the nose. Driving through the feet, sitting back into the glutes. Come down a little further. Bums going back, we're hinging as we squat. Good. Big, full, robust breaths. Good, come down a little lower. Nice. Keep breathing. Keep slurping into the midline. You're squeezing your glutes, you're not just letting everything hang out. Let's come down again. Good. Holding it here. Breathe. Send the breath low into the back body. Good. Last one if you've got it. See if you can go a little further. Breathe again. Nice. Good job, guys. And then hands to the mat, left foot steps back, bring the body up, you're in your 90-90. We're going to swing those arms. Find that rotation through the upper back. So this pelvis stays stable and you get that fluidity through the upper back as it swings left to right. Good. Nice. Left hand down. Right leg to the back of the mat. Modified side plank. Options, you can drive into the floor through that right foot, or you can hover the leg. Again, holding. Pull this left shoulder away from the ear. Reach the right arm over your head. Engage this left glute. Hold. Pull this left hand. You're trying to energetically drag it towards your left hip. Good. Squeeze that right glute to hold the leg. Good. Keep the breath. Good. And then step this right foot behind you. You can either come to a one-armed reverse table, lift up and hold again, or if that feels too much on one shoulder, again, don't let the ego override. Do what your body needs you to do. Lift into the glutes, engage, suction this left shoulder down the back, or both shoulders if you're on two, hold. Nice work, guys. Keep lifting, squeezing the glute. Good. And then from here, we're going to come back to the mat into a quadruped. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You're going to lift your toes off and you're going to energetically try and drag your hands towards your knees. So this should feel connected. You should feel it into your shoulders. Low belly. Everything should be working. Good. Keep the breath soft. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Should feel this down your back. The whole core container is contracting. Good. Nice. And then release. And we're going to come and stand at the top of the mat and do that again. So, soft knees. Again, grow through the spine before we even start to move. Let's take a little squat, arms out in front if that feels good, or you can have them into your chest, wherever feels comfortable for you. Hold, breathe, think about the breath into that low belly, using it to support our body. Good, let's go a little lower. Hold, sit back into those glutes, slurp that belly up. Good. Start to feel it. Good. Let's go a little lower. Again, neck in line with the spine. Good. Feet parallel. Good. Go a little lower. If this a tool feels bad, change the position of your feet. Either make them wider, slightly turn the toes out. You don't want to feel this in any sort of uncomfortable position. Go a little lower again. Keep slurping into that belly, hinging in those hips. Good. Breathe. 2 more. Lower a bit more. Good. Lengthen the spine. Keep slurping into that midline. Engage those glutes. Again, you're stopping gravity pushing you down by holding yourself back up against it. Good. Nice work, guys. Big, robust breaths. Hands to the mat. Right foot steps back. Lower the right knee. Bring the body up. Squeeze that right bum cheek. Push through those toes before we do anything. Grow out the top of the head and then swing those arms. Find that fluidity. This upper body, this upper torso is rotating left to right. This is how we should move when we walk, when we run. So many of us lose this ability to rotate through the thoracic spine. And we kind of run moving our arms rather than our torso. Good. Nice. Right hand to the mat. Left leg goes back. Right wrist under right shoulder. Pull that down the back. You're energetically trying to drag that right hand towards your body. Option for the left foot to stay down and drive into the floor, or hover. Left arm over. Again, slurp everything into the midline. Reach, so you're extending out the bottom of your heel and the sole of your foot as you reach through those fingertips, creating length. Hold. Cultivating strength. We're working against gravity here. Good. Nice. And then step the left foot behind you. Lift up into one-armed reverse table. Again, squeeze your glutes. If you want to put 2 hands down and face the fingers towards the feet, do. If you're on one arm, slurp or squeeze that right shoulder blade down the back. You want to really feel it suctioning. Good. And driving through the feet as you squeeze the bum up. Good. Release the neck. Maybe open the mouth. Maybe make a sigh. Let any tension go. Rotate back to the top of the mat, knees down, toes hover, wrists under shoulders. And then we're energetically going to pull those hands on the mat, setting them on the back body. You should feel this whole core container light up. Keep the spine long. We're not tipping in the pelvis. Hold the ribs. Watch the neck. Keep that breath. Good. Nice. Release. Come to the top of the mat. Moving on to sequence 2. Slow, but hopefully quite spicy. Soft knees. We're going to take our arms up to cactus, okay? Now, in cactus, I want you to imagine that you're trying to push your elbow through someone's hand without actually moving it. So you're trying to pull down with your elbows as something, an imaginary force is trying to push up. So you keep your elbows still, but they're on tension and they're out to the side in cactus. Don't flare through the ribs. Engage the glutes, ribs hold towards the 2 front hip points. Good. Hold it here. Breathe. Good. And then from here, we're going to rotate the left arm inwards, okay? So the left arm comes down, the right arm still stays where it is. Again, hold here. You're kind of half trying to push back as well, okay? Breathe. Ribs pulling to hips, good. And then swap, so left arm comes back in, up, right arm comes down, internal rotation. Again, try and almost half push those arms back, but also you're trying to push them down and hold them in position. So you're creating a tension through the body. Everything should feel maybe a little bit shaky. Good. And then come up and you're just going to pulse these shoulder blades towards the spine. So hold the ribs. We're not doing this with our body. Engage the glutes, ribs to the 2 front hip points and pull the shoulder blades. If I show you behind, elbows in line with the shoulders, and you're squeezing those shoulder blades backwards. Good. Nice. Good. And then we're going to take the left leg back, coming into a squat. A high lunge, sorry. I've given the game away. Right, we're going to lower a little bit and hold. Again, breathe into the midline. Do whatever you want with your arms. You can have them up, you can have them behind you, stretching some more. You can just have them out to the side. Lower again, hold, engage the glutes. Really slurp into the midline. Lift the pubic bone up, driving through the foot as you have length in the spine. Lower again. Good, breathe. Maybe you're starting to feel some sort of little shakes. Go one more. Engage those glutes. Keep the pelvis in neutral. Keep lifting the pubic bone. And then lower to the floor. You're going to swivel this left leg off to the right side of the mat so that you're in a floria. So that your right foot is facing the top of the mat and your left knee is facing outwards. Left arm up and over, breathe, lift up and out of that mat. So push into that left thigh as you lift your ribs towards the ceiling. Good, squeeze the hips forwards. Left hand down, right arm over. Again, push the hips forwards. Drag this left hand back, suction this left shoulder blade on the back body. Good, find space. Use your body to lift you up. Left arm over, breathe. Nice. Good. And then left hand down again, right arm over. Breathe. Pushing those hips forwards, hugging the ribs. Again, we've got all these opposing forces to help us work our body. From here, you're going to sit your bum back towards your left heel. Let that left foot come forwards a little bit so that you're in a side straddle. So left foot is inside the right thigh. Right arm is going to come inside the right thigh as well. Lift that left arm over and drive this left hip down into the mat as you Imagine you've got a ball under your right side and you're lifting up and over a beach ball. So we're not just collapsing down, we're lifting up and out. Good, breathe. Super nice, guys. Good. And then come off that, hands to the back of the mat. You're going to rotate, so you're facing the back of the mat, hands down, you're in down dog. You're then going to walk your hands back towards your feet, come up to stand. Try not to round through the spine, keep length, and then we're going to hinge from the hips, hands walk forwards, come out to plank. Wiggle your feet if you need to, hold in plank. So you're holding against gravity. If you need to be in half plank, be in half plank. Good. Think about slurping the belly. You're lifting up as the whole world at the moment is trying to push down on you. Walk your hands back, come up to stand. Good. Let's go down again, slowly. Hands walk down the legs as you hinge backwards. Arms, walk those hands out towards the back of the mat. Wiggle the feet so that you're in a proper width plank position. Shoulders on the back body, dragging those hands towards the feet. Neck is drawing back in space. Squeeze the bum. You might have some shakes. Lift up and back. Hands walk back towards the feet. Come up to stand. Nice work, guys. Let's go down again. Towards the back of the mat, the hands walk out. Set the shoulders on the back body, squeeze the bum, slurp the belly. Draw the neck back in space. Good. Fight gravity. Remember, the knees can be down, but don't collapse through the midline. Good. Walk back again. This time we're going to swivel to the right, so your feet stay crossed, your knees are sort of tucked in behind each other, and then take your hands out to the right edge of the mat. So you're getting this stretch into this left hip. Breathe here. Again, reach those hands away as you drive this left hip backwards. So you're getting this opposition of forces again in the body. Good. Engage the bum, squeeze the glutes as you use your body to come up to stand. Nice. I'm quite warm. Let's do the other side. So, arms to cactus. Again, you're trying to pull your arms down like this, in line with the body, but the resistance, the imaginary resistance is holding you. So you're pulling your elbows and you're feeling everything engage, but you're not moving anywhere. Good, remember, length through the spine, hug the ribs to the two front hip points, squeeze the bum, everything's working hard. Good, keep rooting through the feet as you grow through the top of the head. This time, right arm comes forwards first. Again, you're trying to almost push your hands back and the arms backwards as you try and pull this left elbow down as well. Good. Hold it here, breathe. Good. Hold the tension, release, swap. Left forearm comes down, internal rotation, right arm is up. Again, you're trying to almost pull these arms backwards. Imagine that something's pushing you on the back side of the arms, but you're also trying to pull this right arm down. Good. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Nice work, guys. And then come off that and elbows in line with the shoulders, and we're going to squeeze the elbows back. We don't take the elbows forwards and bring them back to halfway. They're already in line with the shoulders, and then we squeeze them backwards, squeezing in between the shoulders, actively working those shoulder muscles. Good. Hold the ribs to the two front hip points. Good. Working the arms as well. Good. Nice. Release off that. Just give them a roll if you need to. Step the right foot back, coming into your high lunge. Make sure you're on your back right toe, okay? The foot isn't down, the heel's lifted. Good. So you're in your neutral pelvis. Lower a little bit. Hold here. Squeeze that right glute. Keep lifting this pubic bone up towards the belly button. Okay, ribs are pulling in. Breathe. Keep the breath flowing. Lower a little more. Good. Squeeze that right bum cheek. Good. Try not to push the hips forwards. Lower again. Keep the pelvis in line. If you need to wiggle the front foot out, wiggle the front foot out. Good. Breathe. Good, lower again, hold, very near the bottom of the mat. Good. Again, go to your limits. Don't feel if this is too much, stay higher. Good. And then lower the knee. Good. You're going to swivel this right lower leg off the left edge of the mat. Right hand comes down, left arm over into a reverse Floria. Lift up and out. Drag that right hand down the back. Good. Come through the middle. Right arm over. Lift up and out of that left thigh. Lift into the right ribs. Reach through those right fingers. Good. Right hand down again. Left arm over. Push those hips forwards. Hug that shoulder on the back body. Good. Breathe. Lift yourself up again. Last one. Right arm over. Slurp. Imagine you've got that beach ball that you're stretching over. You should feel all these wonderful stretches in your body, and then you sit your bum back towards that right heel as you wiggle the right foot forwards a little bit. Left leg comes long. So you end up being in the straddle. I'll show you. Right foot is inside the left thigh, left arm inside the left thigh, and then reach that right arm up and over. Breathe. Really find space in that side body. Again, you're driving into that right hip, so you're pushing the right hip away as you reach through the fingers, so opposite forces are in play. Good, release the neck. Good, and then from here, you'll be putting the hands to the back of the mat, rotating, coming to down dog facing the back of your mat. Slurp up into the midline. Good, walk your hands back towards your feet, come up to stand, squeezing your glutes. Good, and then we hinge backwards, walking our hands down our legs, walking them across the mat to the back. Step out to plank, zip up through the front line of the body, hold against gravity. Neck drawing back in space, shoulder blades on the back body, slurp the belly. Good. Walk the hands back. Walk them up the legs, come up to stand. We've got two more. Hinge back, walk the hands down. Good. Hands out to plank. Zip up through the front line of the body, squeeze the bum, slurp the belly. Don't let gravity let you sink like this. And don't push against it rounded, okay? So if, again, come to your knees if this is feeling too much. Walk the hands back. Squeeze the bum, come up to stand. Nice work, guys. Let's go down once more. Walk the hands down, hinge back. Good. Arms out to the back of the mat. Squeeze the bum, zip up through the front line of the belly, draw the neck back in space. Hold against gravity. You might be feeling some shaking. If this is too much on the wrists, you can always do forearm plank. Good. Walk the hands back. Last time. Rotate to the left, pivoting on the balls of your feet, so your feet face forward, but your legs are crossed, okay? Arms reach out to the left. Again, reach those arms away as you sit back into that right hip. That opposition of forces is in play here. Good, you're reaching away with the same level that you're pulling back with. Good. Nice, and then come off that, come up to stand, and we go on to our final sequence. Okay,